Do you know what's really funny about me is that I never understand people's jokes, but I'm always laughing at something because I find a lot of things funny. I just don't find jokes funny, but it's like 1 out of 100 that I would find funny or that I would even understand. Like, especially English jokes in this country, I do not understand them. And I'm just like, what? And I always thought it was because I was foreign, you know, I wasn't clued up to things. Actually, I still think it's that, but the woman who did my autism test, she told me she reckons that it's because I'm autistic, but I think it's just because I'm foreign and I don't understand, like, what? And even when they explain it to me, yeah, maybe she's right, because even when they explain it to me, I still would be like, what? Why is that funny? But I live all of my life laughing, even though like I'm so like upset about life. Like I literally live all of my life like laughing. I think it's a survival tactic. So it's so funny. I don't understand jokes. I never laugh at jokes, but I'm always laughing and I find loads of things funny, just not jokes. And myself, I don't know. Sometimes I even miss like, why am I laughing at myself again? And I'm there like laughing and I'm like, I don't even know why I'm laughing. Right, title of the video today, my experience with gay men. I didn't know what to name the title of this video, so I thought, yeah, let me grab you into the video, hopefully, so then you can like listen to me talk and I could influence your brain, and then we can move together in the whole world, and then like we could just like agree on like how the world is supposed to be. But I don't know if that's too much of a big dream. Is it too much to ask for? I don't know, but that's what I want. Whatever. Maybe I shouldn't say what I want, I don't know. I've been wanting to do this video for a long time, but I was very scared because I didn't know like how to talk about this subject without being offensive, because like, I just want to be so open about the things that I say, and I didn't want to be offensive. But then something recently happened that I want to talk about, and that's the reason why I'm doing this video. So yeah, let's see if we can get through this conversation together and have some type of understanding at the end, or some type of peace in the heart. But story time as to why I'm even talking about this in the first place. As you may or may not know, I have become a bookworm. I actually used to be a bookworm, and then I like don't know what happened. I think Netflix happened. And so then if I could just watch a book, why am I going to read a book? And then so then I got into like movies, and then I started like collecting movies. And again, it's about my autism, like I just get obsessed with things. So then I got obsessed with like movies, and then I just forgot about books. And then recently I was trying to like get back into reading, and then I picked up the perfect book, because then I just got obsessed with the world of Shadowhunters. Oh my gosh, like she's got 23 books out right now, and she's got 19 books out right now, and there's 4 more to go in the series, and then it's gonna be over forever, which I'm just so heartbroken about. Anyways, so I just got into I just finished the final trilogy that she had called The Dark Artifices. I don't know, I always say words wrong, because there's a word in a book called still, and I'm not going to call it stele, because that's what I think it's supposed to be called, stele, and I'm not calling it that. It's called a still in my head, and that's it. Anyway, so then The Dark Artifices, I think I just finished the Queen of the Dark. What? I don't know what it's called. Let me go and get it because I'm going to be pissed off. I was talking about the baby just now. I was saying the baby is so funny all the time. Are you going to come, or are you going to back off every time I try to grab you? Say hi to Sparkle. Hi, baby. You okay? Are you a happy girl? Hi. Anyways, this is my Sparkle. She's a beautiful, beautiful thing in my life. This is the trilogy that I just finished, and it's called The Queen of Air and Darkness. That's what it was called. And then Lady Midnight and Lord of Shadows, book 1, 2, and 3. Book 3 was like massive. Like, I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if you can see how big that is, but that was massive. Anyway, so these books have changed my mind a little bit about gayness. I shouldn't say that. Why did I just say that? Gayness. Which actually is one of my topics when I get into this topic. So there's a character called Chit, and I think my son reckons that the reason why this has happened to me is because Chit is autistic. And then there's a boy, he's like blonde and all like the next handsome guy, but they're both young, they're like 15 in a book, and his name, what am I talking about? Oh my gosh. Ty is autistic and Kit is the one that's not autistic, and Kit is for Christopher. So Kit Herondale, he's like this like next blonde good looking guy, he's 15, and then Ty, which is short for Tiberius, I think that's how you pronounce it, he's the one that's autistic. And so then I connected with him straight away, and they haven't really said it that Kit is falling in love with Ty, but he's clearly falling in love with Ty. And I think because it's this happening, and because Ty is autistic, I connected with it in a different way. So I want to talk about this today. Let's talk about it. This video is going to be a little bit cryptic because I've got to keep certain things like private at the moment, because like it's not my business to say it, and I wish that I could just say it because I don't care about all of this privacy stuff. Like, talk about my business, go ahead and do it, I really don't care. But a lot of people don't have that same mentality, and I want to be respectful, so I'm going to be very cryptic and I'm not going to be so forthcoming about the things that I'm going to be talking about, but you'll see what I mean because of the way that I'm going to be speaking, right? In my childhood, I had somebody in my life who was gay, and it affected me in a very, at first, in a very negative way, because I grew up believing again, please don't take offense if I'm laughing here, because this is just my childhood experience, and it's like, why, Nayna, why did that happen to you like that? Why did you have this thought? I grew up believing that all men were secretly gay, like all of them, and none of them wanted women, and they were all lying if they wanted women, and the only reason why they want women is to have babies, and really they just all fancy each other and they want each other. And that's what I grew up believing. And also I grew up believing that it was something that you had to change. I didn't think you had to change it. It was just something that was taught to me, like gay is wrong, especially because we grew up in a church anyway. So then now churches are changing a little bit, but before it's absolutely wrong to be gay. And so then it was something that was a secret and it wasn't allowed, but really everybody had the secret. Every man had the secret, and they all wanted each other and they were all gay, but it wasn't allowed. It's something that you had to change, and it's something that we had to work towards to change. And me, I'm like, no thank you, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to play the role of a pretend woman, so I will not be having men, thank you. So I had this big massive trauma, and then I grew up to obviously learn that life wasn't really like that, but it took me a long time to accept it. So I had these issues where, so obviously then I started seeing that boys fancied me. It's like, oh wait, boys do fancy girls, okay. And I could see that they really fancied me because they would make such a big effort and they would tell me how much they're in love with me. And obviously I would never tell somebody that I love them back because I was not about to believe that they loved me. But they made such efforts to like tell me how much in love with me they were, that it's like, okay, well you obviously feel the way you're feeling because you're making such a big effort to tell me how much you love me. So then I started getting used to the idea that men also fancied women, but I was also not over the fact that they also fancied men. And to me it was just a secret. So basically I thought that maybe everybody was what's that word called, bisexual, sorry. My head. But then I would openly ask these questions, and again I think it was because of my autism. I would just openly ask people, do you fancy boys? And it was just such a big thing of like, no, I don't fancy boys. And it's like, why is it and also I think you're lying, because like, why are you making such a big deal out of it? You could just say like, oh no I don't, but instead you're like, I don't fancy boys. So it was so confusing. And so then I started to like just try to ignore this insecurity in me that like everybody fancied boys, you prefer to be with a boy and you're just pretending, so then I could have relationships, because otherwise I would not be having any relationships. But I had this issue, sorry, going back to the issue that I was talking about, where if you had a friend that was a guy and you guys will hug, that would be the end of mine and your relationship, because I'd be like, there you go, there's the proof, you hugged him, you want him. I had such a bad insecurity because in my head men wanted men and they didn't want women. And also if you were like if I had a boyfriend and he wasn't polite about it, like, oh no, like just normal, like, oh no, I don't fancy men. If they were like, oh, I don't fancy men, that was the end of our relationship, because it's like, no, you're going so out of your way to prove that you don't like men. I think you do like men. It was such a big deal in my life. And so then I think I made a lot of men's lives very hard with this thing. And actually the most recent one that I had sex with, if he watches this video, he knows very well how much I questioned him about that, of like, so you sure you don't fancy men? Because I think that you do, because like you're just like and then he'll be like, no Nayna, I don't fancy men. It's like, yeah, I don't believe you, I think you fancy men. Anyways, gosh, let's move on with the conversation. So I had a friend who was gay, and this friend, again being cryptic, not being clear about what it is that I'm saying, but I had a friend that they were gay, and they said to me that they think that they are broken. That I think, talking from their perspective, I think that men and women are supposed to have children, and therefore that's the correct way of doing it. And also when I'm with the same sex, I feel like it's not pure. And so then we started this like long conversation of like, is it, you know, is it something that's like broken? And because we don't talk about this enough, we don't have enough education, and this is why we're having these conversations. But yet without these conversations, we're not moving along either. So we have to ask these inappropriate questions. And I say inappropriate because the people who are experiencing these feelings, they know what's going on. And because I'm not experiencing these feelings towards the same sex, then I don't know what's going on. So here I am asking questions that may be offensive, but nobody's talking about it. So therefore, and my childhood is telling me things, so then I'm all confused. So then I am kind of asking these questions of like, so is it something that's broken? Is it something that's incomplete? Are you insecure with the opposite sex? Is that why you're with the same sex? And having somebody who's gay saying to me, yes, I think I'm broken because when I'm doing this, and then when they try to have opposite sex, it felt more natural and more normal than when they were having same-sex relationships, right? So all these things, all these conversations, and I think I was trying to make myself feel better because of this insecurity of mine of like, no, but everybody is lying, even though I wasn't lying because I don't want the same sex. So it was so confusing. So it's like men want the same sex, but women don't want the same sex. And women who have the same sex, they must be lying to themselves. And men who have the opposite sex, they must be lying to themselves. It was just a toxic, insecure nightmare. Literally a nightmare. Anyways, let's carry on. So Tiberius in this book, he gets introduced as like this like really beautiful boy, you know, with a beautiful type of like structure to his body, and his hair's like long and curly, and he's just a beautiful boy. And straight away I'm like connected to him, as if like, oh, you're talking about me because I have curly hair and I have like the same type of skin, and you know, and I'm not like skinny and thin. And so then I straight away put myself into Tiberius's body, even though he's a boy and I'm a girl. I straight away thought it was me. And then Kit came along, and Kit was like mesmerized with him, and they didn't say like, oh, Kit was in love with him or nothing. It was just, and it was just such a friendly thing of like, he was just mesmerized by him. And usually Kit wasn't so friendly towards people and wasn't so kind towards people, but when he met Ty, he became like soft and stuff. And then I was like, oh my gosh, but of course, because Ty is so innocent and he's so pure because he's autistic. He's so innocent and pure, so of course you're going to fall in love with Ty. And something happened in my heart that never happens before, because I don't really find it fun to watch like gay relationships or anything on TV or anything, because I want to see opposite sex relationships because of me, because I want to be activated in my heart. So when there's a gay relationship, I don't get put off by it and I don't turn it off or anything, but it just doesn't activate my heart at all. And even in books, it's like, yes, I'll read it, and yes, I find it entertaining because it's like, oh, it's a storyline, but my heart is not activated like and for some odd reason my heart was activated with Kit falling in love with Ty. I could feel it in my heart of like, he's falling in love with Ty, oh my gosh. And it was the first time ever that I experienced this butterfly feeling in my chest for same-sex relationship. From the outside looking in, of like, oh my gosh, they're falling in love, this is so beautiful. I've never felt that way before. I've always was like, oh, okay, oh, they're falling in love, oh, okay. It wasn't like, you know, in the Notebook where it's like, oh my gosh, they're falling in love, this is so beautiful. Like, it was never like that with same-sex things that I would watch or read about. But this was the first time with Ty and Kit that I was just like completely falling in love with the idea of them falling in love. And this surprised me, because like I said, I've never had this before. So I was like, wait, why is this happening? So I was talking to my son about it, and he was saying that it's because Ty is autistic and you felt like Kit was falling in love with you because he was falling in love with Ty, and that's why it activated your heart. And I was like, And though he might be correct, and that's why I connected with it, it started to awaken something in my brain, because then I started to think, wait, why do we call that what's happening between them two, why do we call it gay? And then what happens between those two, which is opposite sex, we call it love. And then my brain started like not being able to make sense of it anymore, because it was like, wait, but they're both falling in love, so why would you call this one gay and this one love? Oh yeah, they're gay. Oh yeah, they're in love. It's like, what? Because they're literally experiencing the same thing, like they are falling in love, so why are we naming this gay? And then I started thinking about all the other, sorry, I don't know what that was, I think it was my son. And then I started thinking about all the other things that I think that we stupidly like label things. Like, for example, why do we call people who have a dark brown skin, why do we call them black? Or people who have like really light skin, why do we call them white? It's so inaccurately stupid. Anyway, so then I started like really thinking that we should really stop calling same-sex love gay. Because it's just so like disrespectful and rude, because what is happening is love. It's not gay, it's love. Anyways, so then I think something woke up in my brain where it was like, Nayna, they fall in love. What do you think they've been doing all along? Do you think that it's just been like, oh, you have a penis, I want you, and I also have a penis, so I want you? It's like, no, they actually look at them, they feel things in their chest, it vibrates just like you feel things in your chest, it vibrates, and it goes, oh my gosh, I'm in love with this person. And I was like, oh. So because of my black and white brain and the type of brain that I have, like, I want to understand things in a finite type of way, right? What is it? Conclusive, end of story. What is it? And so then the gay friend that I had, they said to me that they reckon that maybe everybody's bisexual. Even if you're bisexual 0.01%, you're still bisexual. So you're not going to do anything about it because your percentage is so low, but like everybody's bisexual. Because I think that what activates the heart in a falling in love way is admiration and how they look like you like what they look like, and then you have some type of fondness with like the way that their face is, right? Because that's how I fall in love, is like with people's faces, right? So then if they have like all of these things, and then you imagine yourself doing things with them that's like more intimate, so our genitals touching each other, or our lips touching each other, or me being able to touch my hands onto you, and then the thought of those intimate things taking place between me and you with all this admiration going on and this me being attracted to your face, then it activates my heart of like, I want that. And I think because like I'm not attracted to vaginas, then I don't have that activation inside of my heart. Like, yes, I admire you, yes, I like your face, yes, I like your character, but I don't like vaginas. So then therefore my heart doesn't flutter towards you because of the intimacy that I require as the end, like I'm falling in love. But what if I did like vaginas? What if vaginas to me were beautiful? What if they were interesting? What if I was like a bit obsessed with them? And all because I have a vagina myself, why does that make it wrong? Or why do I then have to name that something else? Like, instead of it being a sexual exchange and me and you having a sexual thing together, why then do I have to call that gay? And this is what I think is changing in my brain. It's like, we need to stop calling these things by another title, because it's just exchange of sexuality, it's exchange of feelings, it's exchange of like emotion. But I have a desire for penises, but if I had a desire for vaginas, then it will still be the same exchange happening of love, of excitement, of butterflies in my stomach, because I want you and I want to be intimate with you because I'm obsessed with vaginas. And then some people are obsessed with both of them. Like, imagine that, being obsessed with both. Or you're just obsessed with some type of softness, and usually you find that softness only in women, so then as a woman, you're more attracted to the softness, so then you want women. But maybe there's a 1% of men out there who are just as soft as women. So if you came across that man, maybe you would want to be with him because he's so soft, if it's not just about sexuality. So I feel like it's all these ingredients that make us activate in our heart and fall in love with people and then want them intimately. And when I mean intimately, I don't just mean sexually, I just mean like in this intimate space of me and you touching and being together in this intimate way. And this is the exchange that we desired based on all of these conclusive parts that you have. So why then the same sex, we have to name it something different when literally it's the same thing happening? But the only difference is that I have a vagina, you have a vagina too. I have a penis, you have a penis too. Or I have a vagina and you have a penis. And based on the genitals, then you're calling these relationships like different names. It's like, it's kind of dumb because it's the same thing happening. My chest is activated, my vagina is vibrating because I want you in a particular, I want you. Anytime I come across, and again, if people know me, they know me, when I come across somebody who's gay, I ask them 100 questions and I want to know. And I think that sometimes they really appreciate it because they don't get to really talk about it openly. And here I am kind of going, so when you look at a guy, does you like your heart like flutter? And I think that like in the past, when I've had these conversations, people sometimes don't just say, yes, Nayna, my heart flutters, because maybe they're trying to hide something. And really, that's the reality. Your heart is fluttering. You're going home daydreaming about somebody, and the thought of touching them makes you like have some ecstasy in your body, and all because you have the same genitals. Why do we call that wrong when literally you're experiencing all of the right things in the ingredients of love?
Yeah.
Now the problem is reciprocation, right? And maybe that's the problem with everybody. If I go falling in love with somebody who has a different genitals than me, okay, they're not going to reciprocate my feelings if they don't feel the same way about me. And to be honest, would we have a lot more bisexual people if we wasn't trying to call it a different name, like, yes, gay, you're gay? Like, would a lot more people, maybe gay men will be happy about this, but maybe there is a lot more bisexual people in the world than we allow ourselves to believe. Because we could say it's wrong, then they don't allow themselves to say, do I? But also, because I don't have friendships in my life right now, I literally have 0, right? But I can imagine that, like, if I came across somebody who I really, really admired and I loved being around them, and I came alive every time they came in the room, like, oh my gosh, so-and-so is here, and we had the same genitals, and she was, let's say, she was a lesbian, then maybe she would misunderstand my excitement and think that I wanted her in an intimate way, when really I don't want her in an intimate way of this lovey-dovey stuff. I just want her as my friend. But then maybe if I spent time with her, and then I started like warming up to the thought that I really like this girl, and then I could get past the fact that she had a vagina, and then I could explore something new and different. But because, like, or because of my finite brain of like, what does that mean that I'm gay? It's like, no, you could just be bisexual. Not that I can see that happening, but if it happened, like, I feel like we just don't allow these things to take place. And that's why there's like a lot of gay men suffering, because they can't find like the perfect partner. Because the childhood person who was gay, we've been recently talking, the one who caused this trauma in the first place in my brain, we've been recently talking, and this person says that they find it very hard to find a serious relationship, because gay men, they tend to just use you for this or that, or use you for money, or use you for and nothing is serious, right? And I remember I spoke to somebody who was gay at work as well, and I asked them the same question, and they said the same thing, that they just can't find somebody who's serious and who would just love them, and that's it. But you know what, again, another thing that talking very cryptic, I was exposed to a lot of let's say the sex world growing up, right? And I know for a fact that there's so many married men who seek out prostitutes with penises, and they have a penis themselves, and they are married to a woman. I know that there's loads of them. So what are we doing that we're not being honest about the things that we desire, the things that activate us, the things that excite us? So then I think that there's just a lot more bisexual people in this world than we realize, and that we need to stop making it this weird thing. And really, it's just exchange between humans of emotions, of excitement, of sexuality, and that's all that we're doing, is we're exchanging these gifts of life, which is to be excited about people's bodies and people's characters. And now I fancy them and I'm daydreaming about them when I go to bed. Why does it matter if they have the same genitals as me or not? And for the first time, I'm seeing it so clearly because of Kit and Ty, that it's the same thing. You just have different types of genitals going on. Anyways, I think we have to normalize exchanging these things with humans instead of calling it gay or heterosexual, which I find it so rude when people ask me that in job applications. Like, are you gay, heterosexual? Like, why do you need to know that? Why are you asking me that? Are you married or not married? Why are you asking me that? Are you black, white? Why are you asking me that? Are you religious? Why are you asking me that? We really have to normalize this exchange between all humans. And no, I don't fancy vaginas. I don't want them. But maybe one day I will. And I don't want them. I mean, you see, and we have to normalize us being honest about what it is that we want, because maybe there is 50% of men that look at penises and they're like, no, I don't want penises, and that's okay. But then there's 50% of men that's like, actually, it's kind of interesting how hard our penises get. And maybe if we touch penises together, like, again, let's not uproar about men who want to do that. Let's just find it interesting, like, oh, cool, okay, you want to do that, and actually how exciting that you want to do that, and that you want to fall in love with somebody who has a penis and you want to rub penises together. I don't know what they do, because I don't even watch gay porn, so I don't know. Sorry, I just went into a whole daze there, because like, what if like men could dry hump each other like more instead of like sticking it up each other's bums? Because like, I'm just very open when I talk, right? But I don't want penises up my bum. It hurts, it doesn't feel good. So doesn't the man feel the same way? Or do they like it? Again, can we talk openly about that? Can we figure it out? Is it more about dry humping? Because for sure, women with women, and I've had experiences in my childhood of doing this type of thing, women with women, they want to, well, they call it scissoring, but I don't like to use these names. They like to rub vagina on vagina, and that's what they want to do. So what about if men want to do that and rub penis on penis? Because I could feel like there's a lot of men that would be like, why do you find it, And do you know what? Let's then be allowed to be honest and say, no, I don't want my penis to rub on another man's penis. Okay, that's fine. But also, if another man wants to do that, leave him alone and don't call him gay. Just leave him to do what he wants to do. And let's not be angry about other people's sexual preferences, and just keep your sexual preference and kind of say, no, I don't want my penis to rub on another man's penis. Okay. But just calm down with another man choosing different than you. Calm down, like just relax and let him go and choose to rub his penis on another man's penis. Let him go do that, because how exciting is that for him? And actually, that actually looks kind of nice in my head. Two penises rubbing together, that actually looks attractive to me. I don't know though. Well, that's a bit different, isn't it? I don't know what to think about that. The fact I like the thought of two penises rubbing together and me watching it. I like the thought of that.
Wow.
Oops. And actually it's quite funny because in this book, the same series, there's somebody called Mark and Kieran, and Kieran and Mark, they're gay. Kieran's a fairy and Mark is a shadow hunter and half fairy, half shadow hunter, half fairy, and they're gay together and they are together. And then there's a third person called Christina, and then she ends up being in a relationship with the two of them, and then they end up having like a three-way relationship, and she didn't care that they were gay together. Wouldn't that be a turn of events? Me in the middle of two gay men. Wouldn't that be something I never foresaw coming? Because in my vision, I did always want to have like two men, but I didn't want them to do things with each other. I just wanted them to concentrate on me. But that's because of my insecurity of like, oh, but you don't even want me here. You two just want to be together. You prefer for me not to be here. But if I knew that they know I prefer for you to be here, Nayna, then maybe it would be different, and I would find it more attractive to see them two doing things together. Specifically the two penises touching each other. That actually looks really, really nice in my head. Anyways, oh my gosh, let's conclude this video. So I think that I want to start talking to people about this. I want to start like finding the people who are absolutely against, and I'm going to stop calling it gay now. I think I'm going to find the people who are against same-sex relationships and intercourse. I'm going to start finding them, picking them out, asking people, are you against it? And I'm going to start asking them, debating with them, changing their mind at all of this now, because this needs to stop. Like, let's all just like be happy for people falling in love, thanks. And for people having great sexual experiences. Like, let's just all be happy for everybody, and let's not condemn them for having great sexual relationships when it's not even your business. It's not your vagina, it's not your penis. So what are you doing caring about other people's vaginas and penises? It's not yours. So let's normalize this. Let's stop calling it gay. Let's just call it relationships. It's just relationships. Do they have the same genitals? Yes. Oh, they have the same genitals. Let's not call it gay anymore, please, please. Unless you guys want to call it gay, but I don't want to call it gay because I think it's quite rude. Okay, that was a short conclusion. I'm happy I had this conversation. Now I'm going to find myself a gay couple that I can have sex with, the both of them. I said to myself, I want to make up my own quote of the week today. I'm very confident I am a writer though, and I can write things very easily. So let's see if I can come up with a quote by myself. Worry about your own penis and your own vagina, and be happy for other people's choices with their own penis and their own vagina. It's not your business. Oh my gosh, I know this is not a quote yet. So quotes are supposed to be like really short. You take care of your penis and your vagina, and I'll take care of my penis and my vagina. Stop telling me what to do with my penis and my vagina. Okay, maybe I needed more time to think of a quote, but there you go. I gave you two weird long quotes. Right. I'm still fully activated in my heart with Kit and Ty. I'm so excited to see how they turn out. I want their penises to rub together. I'm really excited. What is my problem? I'm so sorry, but no, it's not a problem, is it, darling? We need to normalize these things. It's not a problem. No, yes, let's talk about these things and let's normalize them, please, because it's just genitals, it's just humans, and they like it. That's the thing, they like it and they fall in love with it. They fall in love with each other. So it's love. It's not gay, yeah? It's love. Okay, all right, thank you very much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed it. I don't know if you've enjoyed it unless you're gay, but hopefully people who are not gay, oh my gosh, I said it again, what is wrong with me? You see, like, these things take ages to get out of your system. So then we do need to be patient with the whole entire world. Like, we just need to allow these things to like slowly change. Yeah, I don't even know what I was saying. Have a nice day. I'll see you again soon. Okay, goodbye.